Hari Om. Good evening to all seekers. A very warm welcome. Let's pray together. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amrutam gamaya. Sahana vavatu sahano bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. O Lord, the Almighty, together we all offer our humble salutations to seek your grace, your blessings, mercy, forgiveness, love, compassion, strength, Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana, and Vairagya. Our humble salutations to the entire Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. Today we are on the Divine Discourse 107, the 7th of August 2020, Sharvarinama Samvatsara, Dakshinayana, Varsharutu, Shravana Masa, Krishna Paksha, Chaturthi. On this Friday afternoon, Hari Preranaya Hari Prityartam Naham Karta Hari Karta. We are all going to listen to the divine words of the Lord. We once again seek His grace and blessings. Om Tat Sat. A very warm welcome to everybody once again. So we are now learning the Astanga yoga practices of Maharishi Patanjali. So here, yesterday we were able to learn about Asteya and Aparigraha. We did a recap once again on those two important aspects. And now we shall move to the other aspects. So we were under Niyama, Yama, Niyama. So in Niyama we were doing Santosha. The first one was Shaucha. And a quick recap on in Yama what all is coming. In Yama we have Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, and the fifth one is Aparigraha. And the second step, as per the 8-fold practices, we have Niyama. First one is Shaucha. Second one is Santosha. In Santosha, we were discussing how contentment, Trupti, plays a major role in bringing happiness in one's life. We heard the story of a poet and saint, Sheikh Said, where he was continuously complaining for his poor state of life. No food, no clothes, that kind of a situation, until he met a toy seller who was completely handicapped, without a leg and without a hand. And seeing the smile on his face, seeing the happiness he had, the enthusiasm he had, and a perfect mind where there was no complaint about anything, then he says, I too should learn. Stop complaining. Be grateful for what we have in life rather than what we don't have. The basic structure of a human life is that you have joy and sorrow almost in an equal proportion. But our attitude and mindset is such that what joys are there, we fail to recognize. And that's how we always feel that there is so much little of joy and sorrows are so huge in number. It's not the case. They're actually equal. So one should develop a mindset to recognize joy. In small things you can find joy and happiness, which we, having lost ourselves in the worldly activities, worldly things, and engagements, we have failed to recognize the small moments of joy. So now, as contentment is required, then here we also understand that if you have a mental distancing, now we all have heard the phrase of social distancing. Here we have to do a mental distancing of what? Between yourself and your mind. Which means you become an observer of your mind. You are not the mind. We have done that in our Panchakosha Viveka. Obviously we are not the mind, because mind is an object. Now you have a pen with you, you have a book with you, you have a watch with you, you have a mobile with you. Are you all this? They are instruments in your hand. What you can be aware about is nothing but an instrument. One has to get this very clear in one's mind. The body is an instrument. Pranamaya kosha, that is an instrument. Your manomaya is an instrument. Buddhi is also an instrument. Just like as you have all other things in your life which you use for your daily purposes, in the same way, your true self is that awareness, that consciousness within. And all the other aspects, the other panchakoshas, are functioning with the strength of that consciousness. And by the impact of Maya, the Lord Himself says, I have created that way, where along with every thought which springs up in the mind, which comes from the Karan Sharir, that is the causal body, into the Jnanamaya Kosha, intellect. Along with the intellect, you have the Aham, Ahankara. So, Mana, Chitta, Buddhi and Ahankara. These are the four aspects of the mind. So, along with the Buddhi, Ahankara is there. It automatically springs up. So, in every activity, the Aham Bhava, meaning I, myself, mine, this is there. Very solidly there. Now you are listening. I am talking. Do you need the aham over here? Just think. It is okay, isn't it? You can do your listening without the aham. Listening is happening to this body and mind of yours. Why do you need that I am listening over there? That I factor. I did this, I gave this, I received this, I performed this. So this aham has been constantly there as a part of our, integral part of our lives. So here, that mental distancing is so very important, that keep your aham away, which means your mind away. So by doing this is one of the greatest secrets which the Lord tells us in the Karma Yoga chapter. Become a sakshi of your activities on a daily basis. There is no kartrutva, no bhoktutva. Hence, there is no papa and punya. Thereby, all your vasanas will slowly start getting exhausted. And another important aspect to be happy and to gain much better momentum in life is Ishwararpana. Offer all your activities to the Lord. Thereby your attachment with the body, with yourself, they all get gradually reduced. So now after the second practice, first Shaucha, Santosha, then we have Tapaha. Now here in Tapaha means basically austerity, where to gain that control over your body and your mind as well, one is taking up various activities in life which is not for the comfort of the body and mind. Doing activities for the comfort of the body and mind, that anybody can do. Any person can do, any animal can do. For that you don't need great control, or you don't need great ability or strength. But when you say that you like something, but you restrain your mind from doing it, that is where you start gaining the control over your mind. And any person who has conquered his mind, it's like he has conquered the world. You might have conquered the world, but if you have not conquered your mind, you're still a slave to your mind. And mind is your object. It is your servant. What a pitiable condition if we become the servant of the servant. What is that pitiable condition? So likewise, under austerity, you have Antarika and Bahya. Antarika is where you are doing several austerities for your inner cleanliness of your mind and your internal cleanliness of your body also. Like what are the Antarika practices? Fasting, chanting of various mantras, stotras, having a vrat. Vrat is you take a vow on anything. Then observing mauna, where you observe silence. These are some of the few of the Antarika practices. Now Bahya, what do you mean by Bahya? Which are done externally, which are like charity, pilgrimage, seva. Seva is service, where you can, if you have more of time, you can give time. If you have that physical strength, you put in your efforts in any yajna or any person's endeavor, where you give him your physical strength as a support. If you have money, you can give money as a support. If you have knowledge, you can give knowledge as a support. So likewise, you are giving seva, doing seva. So all this is done only to bring control on your senses and mind. This is extremely important. Now the next one comes is the fourth one is Swadhyaya. Here the scriptures tell us very clearly. Swadhyaya means Swa Adhyaya, self-study. About what? Study about your true self. These are your guide. These are your indicators. What should be done, what should not be done, how it should be done. See, we in the common world, we are so much used to a newspaper. And what is that giving us? Knowledge of the world. And what are all these Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutras, mantras, Vishnu Sahasranama, all these, what do they give us? They give us the Lord Himself. How will that realization come? That is the newspaper important or reading the holy text of the Lord is important? It comes only when you know the value of these holy texts. You know the value of God. You know the value of life. So one should prescribe a time, whatever you can. Start with 5 shlokas of the Bhagavad Gita. Improve upon it. We want everything more and more in life, isn't it? We are not satisfied with what we have. If you have a house, you want a bigger house. If you have a car, you want a bigger car. If you have a job, you want a bigger job, a promotion or a fatter salary. If you are holding a key position in terms of a power, you want to grow over there, become more powerful. So when you want to see growth in the world, why not see growth for God? And this Swadhyaya gives you tremendous amount of reconciliation between what is right, what is wrong, how one should be doing, how one should not be doing. So this forms the 4th major aspect of the 2nd step, Swadhyaya. Next comes Ishvara Pranidhana. Ishvara Pranidhanani is where this is again the Ishvara Arpana Buddhi, where you offer all your actions to the Lord. Kaya, Vacha, Manasa, whatever you have done, offer it. This automatically means like you have your child, your loving child, grandchild, whatever. Somebody whom you love so much. When you're making something for that person, want to take all the precaution to ensure that you give them your best. So the purpose here is when you start offering your actions to the Lord, it indirectly means that we need to give our best shot. If you are performing a work, do it with all your interest, focus, dedication, and mind deeply involved in it. Don't just do it for the heck of doing it, because you are offering it to the Lord. Ishvara Pranidhanana. Now the 3rd important step comes as Asana. Deham Khalu Dharma Sadhanam. We have understood this. Your body is like your chariot. In today's terminology, your car. Would you like to own a Khatara car? You would want the best model, isn't it? You would want all the features in a car which is up to date. Now then, our body is also that kind. We should update our body time to time, and for that one has to exercise. Asana. Various kinds of asanas are there to help for the upkeep of good health. And when it comes to meditation, Padmasana, Virasana, these are the most recommended. Nowadays, sitting down itself is an issue. So, Sukhasana. Sukhasana is where it's the most relaxed form of Padmasana. You have to just sit down, cross-legged. So one can start with with Sukhasana, then have Ardha Padmasana. Then if need be, one can get into Padmasana. So when you have a stable body, a healthy body, then it aids your meditation dramatically. So that way, asana. Then moving forward, you have pranayama, fourth leg, fourth step. Now, why do we call pranayama so much important? Reason being, the breathing pattern and the mind have a direct connection. Just observe when you are angry, when you are anxious, when you are agitated, just observe your breath. It is completely going haywire, oscillating, terribly oscillating. Now observe your breath. How is it? Very calm and serene. It's going at a slow pace. There's no kind of a hankering in your breath. How is that happening? Because your mind is calm. So which in other words means, if your mind is agitated, if you are able to control your breath with the technique of pranayama, so an agitated mind can be brought under peace or tranquility by the change in the breathing pattern. So in that context, here the Yoga Sutras, they recommend inculcate pranayama in your life. Apart from only mind and meditation, it has an impact on your lifespan. Like more number of breaths means less lifespan. Lesser number of breaths per minute, more the lifespan. You must have seen dogs. Their lifespan is about 15, 18 years. And how fast they breathe. And take a human, which is about 80 to 100. Take the breath pattern of a tortoise, which lasts for about 300 years. Hardly 2 breaths per minute. That's all. So the lesser the breaths, the higher the lifespan, vice versa. So, and apart from that, when you do pranayama and things like that, you have activated your entire physiological condition of the body. There is a good lung capacity which has developed. This good amount of creative thinking which is happening, alertness and things like that. So these are all extremely important for a mind control which aids in your meditation process. Okay. Now, Yama, Niyama, Pranayama, Asana and Pranayama. We have gone through these 4 steps. Now, till this 4th step, it denotes an extremely noble person, a so-called gentleman, good to be dealt with in this world, who is healthy in mind and in body. Now comes more of the sadhak. We as seekers, now what we need now starts from this pratyahara. Pratyahara is basically you are withdrawing your mind and senses from the external world. Earlier we learnt of control. Now here it is complete withdrawal. Why? You're not allowing it to go and then again check the hankering. No. Don't allow them to go. So there is no question of control further. So it is withdrawal. Slowly take everything inward. Keep going inward. So this is the aspect of pratyahara. The more one is not exposed, his mind is more calm and peaceful. Otherwise, the same hankering happens, which you will be fighting between controlling the mind and the senses. So there is most of your energy goes into these aspects. Then where will you have the energy, time, and the internal strength to rise higher towards the Almighty? So pratyahara. Now, once you have done this pratyahara, comes the dharana. Dharana is concentration. Your mind, which is running around here and there, when you sit for, say initially you are doing japa, chanting. Our intention is we focus on the image of the Lord, His picture or His idol, and we are chanting the mantra. In some time we have noticed that the mind has gone somewhere else. So what we do? We bring back the mind and again place it on the Lord. Then you are again chanting. Again it goes. Again bring it back. Now, which shows that the mind does not want to sit in one place. This is clear to all of us, isn't it? So to make it more effective, what one should do is, if at all the mind wants to go somewhere, allow it to go on your breath. Let it focus on your breath, which is Shwasa Vikshana, the inhalation and exhalation of your breath. Allow it to focus over there. And then again take it back to the mental picture or statue what you have created. And to improve your concentration, another technique which I can suggest is, in the power of visualization, we heard how Nathan Sharansky was playing chess in the prison by the power of visualization, and he was playing with the world champion Garry Kasparov. We have heard about this, isn't it? So here now you make a chessboard. It's not of 8 and 8 square 64. Here it is going to be one below the other. You will have 9 numbers, and side by side you will have 12. So horizontally you will have 12 and vertically you will have 9, which means 108. So this you can do when you are fresh, and the best thing is in the morning. So what you do? You visualize a square which is vertically and horizontally, it is number 1. Say the mantra and imagine that all the squares are white squares. There, this picture of the Lord Shiva, what you are contemplating, you have a sticker of Lord Shiva, paste it on that white square. So now you have 107 white squares and 1 square which is of Lord Shiva. That sticker picture of Lord Shiva is put in the first square. Then move towards your right. First row, second square. Say the mantra, post the sticker there. Third mantra, post the third sticker there. So this needs a great deal of concentration, and you will be able to gradually build your concentration. I'm just giving you a technique how to build your concentration. So there you don't need a japamala or a counter. Just keep sticking these stickers in all the white spaces of the mental board you have created. 108. 9, one below the other, and 12, one besides the other. This is your board, which is white in color, all squares, and you're posting after the chant, every square you're posting one sticker of the Lord. Try this. So here what is said, Dharana, you need that concentration. Why? Because that Urja Shakti which is there in you, that focus on the Lord is extremely important. Now, if you are doing a fine act, like you are painting a picture, when you are painting a picture, you are now in your fine details on that picture. Can you keep shaking your hand the way you want? You cannot. Because you are in the finer details of that picture, you have to be extremely careful in your strokes. In the same way, here now you are into the union with the Lord. And for that union with the Lord, your mind has to be completely absorbed. So now, from Dharana we go to Dhyana, 7th stage. You're almost there now. Now we all are struggling in this Dharana, improving our concentration. And it will soon come to us. Because the amount of jap what we are doing is going to take us to higher planes. And there is no better job which one can be doing in this world. Anything else you do in this world, one day or the other, it further reduces. It could be your health, it could be your finances, it could be your relationship. It could be anything, but it is not constant. But what you do for the Lord is not only going to be constant, but it is going to come back to you multifold. It is growing also. So the most versatile thing what one could do is moving towards the Lord. Now the next one is Dhyana, where with that concentration you are able to hold the awareness, Dhyana, in that mind. You are not allowing the mind to go anywhere. You are holding it there. And then slowly comes the Samadhi. Samyak adhiyate iti Samadhi. Meaning, adhiyate meaning you are perfectly holding over there. It is this stage where you drop your mind. The pole vaulter, he used the mind, he jumped up, high up, and between Dhyana and Samadhi stage, what he did? He pushed the pole back. Pole is compared to the mind. He pushed it back and he crossed and jumped over. This is how it has come. First he has to hold the pole steady. That is Dharana. He can't keep having that loose. It has to be in perfectly held. And in that perfect moment of holding the pole, he slowly comes forward. He runs towards the target. He increases his speed. The holding is getting more and more focused. And 7th position, Dhyana, he hits it to the ground and raises himself. So with that state of concentration, you raise yourself within. Now the mind is not going anywhere. It's firm with you. Raise yourself, raise yourself. The thought is there. The thought of the mantra chanting is there. Raise, 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 and then drop the mind. Drop the pole backwards, and you are in a state of samadhi. There is no thought. You might have already noticed, or you will notice sooner. Normally, a chanting, if it is said loudly, you will need about 14-15 minutes. That if you recite fast. But if you say it where probably you could hear or the next person could hear to you, then you may need about 11-12 minutes or 10 minutes also. But if you say it with just that lip movement, not even the voice coming out, you may need about 9 or 10. But if you run it in your mind, you will need less than 8 minutes for every jap. Yesterday Kamini had put this question, so I'm explaining. So here what happens now? You have been continuously chanting this mantra in your mind. There was a voice, then your lip movement, your tongue movement, all that stops. And it's running in your mind. And at one point, even that stops. Allow it. That is the purpose of doing chanting. You have to go into that state of dhyana and samadhi. So there you may notice that, my God, it is 20 minutes and I have not even completed one mala. How come? Because you went into a state of samadhi. You were in concentration, doing dhyana, and you slided into samadhi. So you will realize, oh, time-wise it is 20 minutes is over, but I am in that state of samadhi. Please ensure that your mind is not going here and there. I am ruling that possibility out. So this is how one needs to get into the state of samadhi. Now, what all problems one can have at the higher levels, we will talk of tomorrow. And what are the techniques we can use? Because mind is disturbed, no? The problem comes at this withdrawal stage, pratyahara, then dharana, dhyana. Samadhi is, of course, the ultimate. So these three stages are important. Let's talk about this tomorrow. We have discussed about the techniques earlier, but I would like to refresh your minds once again. Okay. If any one of you have questions, suggestions and comments, please post them on the group. I've posted the chanting cumulative number as of yesterday night on the group. Please have a look. If there are any corrections, let us know. Let's chant the concluding mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. We offer today's Gita Jnana Yajna at the lotus feet of the Lord as our love and dedication unto Him to seek His grace and blessings. Our salutations to the entire Guru Parampara. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Idam Namama. Om Tat Sat. Hari Om everybody. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much for being a part of this spiritual journey. We look forward to see you all tomorrow. Om Tat Sat.